welcome to Tiny Table Talk for The Challenge, Season 36, Double Agents, Episode 5. Now, this was a very fun episode, and I think I have a very fun Tiny Table Talk planned out, so let's just jump right into it with... Early on in this episode, we saw that Ashley Mitchell was brought back into the season to re-enter the game. Earlier in the season, in episode 1 actually, she was eliminated from the game going head-to-head against Natalie Anderson. And upon re-entering this game, it marks the 7th player to ever do that in challenge history. The first time this happened was in Battle of the Sexes Season 6 when Dan was voted out in episode 8, but then Puck had to withdraw from the competition and Dan re-entered the very next episode. Now the next time this happened was also in Battle of the Sexes, and that was when Genesis was voted off from the women's team, and then upon hearing that James was voted off from the guys team, that's when Emily was like, I think I need to go, so I want to leave. She was voted off technically of the season. She just never left. It happened the same night. Now we had to wait 20 seasons for this phenomenon to happen again, but it happened in Battle of the Exes 2 when Teresa, who was originally Wes's partner, re-entered the game to help Leroy run the finals in Battle of the Exes 2 once Nia was DQ'd the night right before the finals. And then in Rivals 3, when 4 teams were eliminated or had to withdraw from the game, either by DQ, medical DQ, or just straight up missing their girlfriends, they left early, and that's when Devin and Cheyenne re-entered the game in episode 6. And finally, before Double Agents, the most recent time this happened was in War of the Worlds when Josh was unable to win himself into the house and was eliminated from the Purge Challenge to start off the season, but because Alan broke his arm and had to be medically DQ'd, Josh was able to come back into the game and be partners up with Amanda. And now that brings us to here with Ashley returning into the game, and that's your challenge fun fact for the day. Now, I know I was critical of last episode in my review and recap and my Tiny Table Talk, but this week I want to show some appreciation. I thought this week's episode was fantastic. It had so much entertainment value. The daily challenge was good. The elimination was gripping. I thought the drama inside the house was good. This, I feel, had everything you could ever ask for in a challenge episode. And I also want to show appreciation to my favorite duo and a partnership I didn't think I needed in my life, but I'm so happy we have on our TV screens, and it seems like they're going to be a partnership for a while, and that is CT and Big T. They have everything that you would ever want in a duo. They have the brains, the brawn, the beauty. They have the politicking, and I feel that they just get each other. And you rarely get that in a challenge season. I think we've had challenge seasons with rivals and exes because of the drama that is in there. But on the opposite side, when you only do one thing, you get one result. And in this season, we have where people can be partnered up with their best friend. They would want to work together rather than being paired up with somebody that they smash their heads with. And to me, I'm just so happy about Big T and CT's partnership. I think people felt like, oh, Big T would obviously be happy to be partnered up with CT, but on the opposite side, CT is having a ball this season. He's having so much fun being partnered up with Big T. I just absolutely love this episode, and I love the partnership between Big T and CT. One thing I do want to say is that I'm hearing a lot that Teresa has her hand in the pot. She is stirring this pot this season, yet we are getting none of it. We are getting minimal confessionals from her. I hate that just for the sole fact that we haven't seen Teresa in like 10 seasons, and it feels like she came ready to play, yet we are not seeing any of it. Granted, I loved everything that we saw in this episode. I thought this was a perfect episode with Big T, with CT, with the drama, with all of it. I just feel that I would want to see a little bit more of Teresa stir the pot, especially seeing the previews for next week's episode, where it seems as though that people are calling her out on playing a messy game. We saw that with Nani, we saw Teresa and Lolo get into it, and I think that I would much rather have seen at least little sprinkles of Teresa, but that's my only critique, because this was a really good episode. So every Wednesday night, I watch the challenge live, and I live tweeted during the episode. And then I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning super early to rewatch the episode and get like screen caps and get screen recordings from the episode. And when I watch it on MTV.com, they have an extended episode where they have like the final words from whoever was eliminated that episode. So we move on to Tori having her final words, and pretty much she reiterates a ton of what she already said in the episode, where she's talking about how if she had to go into an elimination, she's glad she lost to a friend, and people need to put respect on Anissa's name because she now has a gold skull and she won an elimination. Stop sleeping on Anissa. And then we get to the one part that I want to play for everybody here, and that is when she is talking about leaving the game and going back home.
At least I'm going home to Jordan. It's our kitty cat, and I have a really happy life at home, and I just hope he's not too disappointed in me.
Ugh, that is so awkward to watch now. Now, I know I kind of get what was going on. They're probably behind the camera asking her prompts, getting her to speak, and like asking her questions to like pump up this final words segment. And they know that the challenge fans want to hear about her and Jordan, and they've been following their relationship from the very beginning on Dirty 30 to their engagement in War of the Worlds 2, and now here, and they're still engaged at the moment of filming this season. Now, prior to the season even starting, but after it was done filming, that's when Jordan and Tori went to Instagram and their social media to tell everyone that they split up, and now there's a whole bunch of stuff with Tori and Fessy. And did this happen in the double agent's house? Was there sparks in there? Was something that happened in there caused the breakup of Tori and Jordan? I don't know. I just felt like this was so awkward to watch because of everything that's happened. And I almost think it's rather weird because the past couple of episodes, and even in this episode, the challenge has been beefing up Fessy and Tori's storyline. We got that from the previous episode where Tori and Devin were in power and they sent Fessy in, and the beginning of the episode, Fessy and Tori were in the hot tub talking, and then that's when Fessy was in the confessional being like, yeah, Tori's really cool. I always wanted to talk to her, but Jordan was always around her last season and I would take my shot, but they're engaged, so I'm gonna go hit up Gabby and stuff. And that's when Tori took to Instagram and was like, oh, I see how the editing is going. They're trying to say like, oh, we're closer, but we weren't really close in the house. And then fast forward to this previous episode when Tori is in the elimination against Anissa, and Fessy gets a confessional going like, I really hope Tori wins because we just get each other. We're like, we don't even have to speak at one point. It's like something you hear off of like a rom-com, hearing some of the cast confessionals saying that Tori and Fessy were really, really close with each other inside the house, and for everything to develop and happen. And whether she was telling the truth in her final words or not, I think the final words was more play up for the camera. I just think it's a little weird that MTV didn't just cut it off when Tori was like, hey, put respect on Anissa's name. Like, it could have been easily cut. Like, that part could have been cut out. I'm sure she said something to the effect of like, you will be seeing me again, and I will be coming back and getting my gold skull and winning this challenge season. I just thought it was weird that MTV didn't want to cut that out, or I know she probably said something else that could have been used as a final word. I just think it's a little weird. It's a little awkward. It's just so awkward. I had to share it. All right, let's move on to the comments section for this video. And I've grabbed a handful of comments from my Thursday's review and recap of The Challenge Double Agents episode 5. And we're going to start off with a comment from Julia who says, Tori made all the wrong turns this season. She was way overconfident. I completely agree. I also think that maybe her strategy is a little off. And I think that maybe she has to work on how she socializes with other competitors within the house, especially the rookies. I feel like Tori gets along with a lot of people that she feels is on the same level as her or are like-minded as her. I think that possibly, yes, she was overconfident, but I also think that her strategy needs some retooling along the lines of how she's socializing with the competitors and just trying to be that chameleon a little bit more. The next comment comes from Lala, who says, can we talk about how good of a friend Corey is? When he said, you and Nelson aren't friends, friends don't do that, I feel that in my soul. I completely agree. I think Corey is one of the better friends within the house, and I feel like Corey is one of those players that really puts more trust into a lot of people, and that could burn you so bad, especially in a game like this. The next comment comes from Xander, who says, I'm still in shock that Big T took over this episode on the politics and physical side. She's way more impressive than I thought. I definitely underrated her, and I will get her anything she ever needs in the VIP area. This is exactly what I wanted from Big T this season. This is what I wanted to see. I felt as though that last season she was just getting in her groove. She was just getting in there. After winning a daily challenge, she was making deals. People were seeing a little bit through her, but she was asking for help. She was asking, how do I play this game? She wanted to be a student of the game, and now I feel like she is just blossoming, and I love to see it. I love it. The next comment comes from Stephanie, who says, did anyone else notice Teresa kind of cheating when Lolo fell? She was definitely using her feet to hold herself up. I saw this comment multiple times on my comment section, and I was like, I didn't see that at all. So I actually have a playback here for everybody. I'm gonna go in slow motion. We're gonna have it at one angle, and you can see clearly while Lolo is falling, Teresa has her feet like propped up on the board where it falls over, and then we get another angle of Lolo dropping and Teresa has her feet up there, and then she just like moves like as if she knows that, oh well, everybody's gonna be looking at her falling, I have to move my feet. I will say that in the Aftermath show, CT did say that if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. The next comment comes from Keith, who says, the only move Tori should have made last episode was forcing her and Devin into the elimination. If it was a guys a limb, Nelson sends Devin home. Girls a limb, easy hall brawl win for Tori. Shake my head. Yes, exactly. That's what I thought was going to happen, because the whole episode built up to Tori and Devin hating each other, and then Tori was like, I want to go down. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down. It was almost a win-win if Tori would have went down into the elimination last episode, but it didn't, and those repercussions, those consequences that happened from the previous episode of sending Fessy down, and then everything that's built up to this point just completely collapsed on her just like that. The next comment comes from Katie, who says they should be pregnancy testing people as mandatory before they enlist into a season. Liv and Natalie both competing while pregnant without realizing it. Also, last season with Melissa, who was pregnant coming onto the season, she made it through the whole season and was running the finals pregnant. It's absolutely insane to think how this is happening in such a small amount of time. That's 3 times in such a small time period. The next comment comes from It's Gabby, baby. Not the whispering into the camera, LOL. I had to mention it because I had to rewind that when I was watching it in real time, because I was like, is she just whispering? Why is she whispering? And then I filmed myself talking about it, and then I was like, I gotta rewatch it again, because did she really whisper, or was she just out of breath talking? But no, at the point where it's at the end of her talking, she's just like, I'm bad, man. I'm here in this game. You just won your elimination. Let it be known, and let it be known that nobody needs to be messing with you. And the final comment comes from Mole People, who says, I agree. The best part of this episode 5 was Big T's game face. But can we get an honorable mention to another female? Ashley $1 Million Mitchell walking out to Money Grabber. That was my second favorite scene of the episode. And can I just say, whoever's picking the music for this season is on point. But that is it for Tiny Table Talk for this week. What do you think about this episode? Let me know that in the comment section below. What do you think about Tori's final words? They kind of were awkward for you. What did you appreciate most about this episode? And what do you think about that fun facts? Let me know that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge 36 Double Agent content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.